So something that happened to me in my own world in the last year, Paul, has been that several friends have left New York City and gone to the suburbs. One did it much sooner than the other. The other one, they both bought in White Plains, had the toughest time finding a place. They were getting outbid every weekend by people going all cash. All young families who wanted to leave New York City and get more space as more and more people are working from home.
Yeah, it's just extraordinary. We just sold our home in North Jersey, and it sold very quickly, and it just confirmed the really, really strong market out there for residential.
For sellers.
Yes, it's a great time to be a seller, boy.
Well, let's get right to it with Stephanie Mallios, realtor and founding agent at Compass Real Estate in Short Hills, New Jersey. She joins us on the phone, not from New Jersey today, but from Maryland. Stephanie, was that a fair characterization of the way that you're seeing the market right now in the suburbs?
It absolutely is. I am in New Jersey today, as a matter of fact, but that's exactly what we've been experiencing in this area. South Orange, Maplewood, Summit, Livingston, Chatham, all the counties, Essex, Morris, Union counties, have all seen a tremendous amount of activity from people kind of accelerating their timeline on maybe they were going to move in 3 to 5 years, and now they're moving right now.
So, Stephanie, I want to get a sense of kind of some of the drivers here. My guess is it's some combination of, historically low interest rates in the mortgage market, plus the pandemic and the need for space and people rethinking working from home and all of that. So as you talk to your clients, what are you hearing as the primary driver?
Well, for a lot of them, they've been working from home, but if they have kids, they've also been schooling from home, and that is really sort of untenable in a 1 or 2 bedroom apartment with 2 adult parents working from home and 1 or 2 kids schooling from home. It's just not possible. I mean, it's possible, but it's not fun.
One of the challenges, though, that comes with such a hot market is the people who are selling need somewhere else to go. And I wonder, when prices just get so high as they've continued to climb, that people who do want to move somewhere else and already own, they are priced out of their own area because prices have gone up so much.
That's absolutely happening here, but there's been a huge growth of luxury apartment rentals built in the region. Anywhere where you could sort of stick 100 or 200 units in a little funny area, people are building them, and here they are, they're ready. So number of people in certain generations that would never have considered renting because it's just sort of against the law to rent and pay somebody else's mortgage. That mindset has changed quite a bit, especially when the tax laws change and you could no longer write off more than $10,000 of your property tax. And in this area,
don't remind me, please.
Yeah, no kidding. Me too. So they're like, let's just take our money off the table. We'll just rent for a year or two. I was just with somebody today who's scaling down from a $4 million house in Short Hills, thinking they'll rent for a year and see what happens. And maybe they'll buy something smaller and renovate it, or maybe they'll relocate. They don't know, but they like the fact that they can be liquid and act quick when they're ready.
Stephanie, what do you think would or will derail this hot market?
Well, interest rates going up doesn't help, but often that stimulates people to act because, funny enough, as interest rates stay very low or when they're declining, everyone thinks they have all the time in the world to find something. And when they go back up, that's when they realize they missed the bottom, and they better scramble and get in. So sometimes having low interest rates doesn't spur activity, but in this time period with school about to start, anyone with children going into school this year, they want to make sure their kids are going to be in a seat. And that's not necessarily guaranteed in the suburbs, but I think a lot of people think there's a better likelihood that they'll be in a seat in a classroom with a live teacher in these kind of areas where schools have always been very highly prized and focused on.
You mentioned a lot of areas that have been of interest to a lot of people for years. I'm wondering, are there areas now that people should be paying attention to if they get priced out of the Summits and the Short Hillses?
Well, a lot of those people are actually moving to Harding Township, which is also known as New Vernon, which is very low taxes and very big properties and large homes, because they realize that the need to be close to the commute is no longer as important to them. So they're more willing to go sort of a country route as opposed to the suburbs, whereas someone coming out of Brooklyn or Jersey City, they might not be quite prepared for a 15-minute drive to civilization, like a supermarket. But for someone who's already lived here, they kind of get it. So if they really don't think they need that, they're willing to make that kind of a trade. And especially, you're seeing a lot of people who normally would be thinking about scaling down at this point or downsizing. We call it right sizing. But they're thinking, let's go to a bigger place where if our kids right out of college have to move back in with us again, there's room for them. And let's have a pool, too, while we're at it, and a jacuzzi, and maybe even a tennis court.
Oh, yeah.
My kids are out of the house, and they're staying out of the house, and we downsized, and we top-tick the market is kind of what I keep telling myself. Stephanie Mallios, realtor and founding agent, Compass Real Estate, Short Hills, New Jersey office.